It's interesting actually practicing talking about all this because there's so much to do. So I'm seeing this rather than a final product that's for public consumption. It's more of just an internal journal process of what, to be honest, is the ideal is to replace the internet for the majority of its usage. So I'm just gonna keep going. So the Ymail is, it should be like Gmail. So let's just practice kind of building that out. Not the sexiest stuff, but let's see. So the collection here, the title will be Ymail. I don't know, we could start with this as like all messages, because right now it just says filter the data where the model string is message. Well, we would naturally want sort of an inbox and outbox. So we could hover over here and duplicate this component, and just drop it down into there, and you might want to say inbox. So what does that mean? Well, we have close out the component drawer. We have down here filter the data where the model string is message, and we can add another filter where I think I have it as target, and I just use that as target, but it's referencing a user ID. And so the target ID is, we have a bunch of conditions. It could be included in a list or includes an element because it is a list. Also, it is or is not empty. And we say it is, and then we'll click on these little buttons again. The screen will reference the current data context, but in this case we want for it to reference the user profile, the currently logged in user, their ID. So my user profile is who I am, I'm logged in, and that's the ID, row ID. Which is really interesting. So I can get rid of the search bar because there's not much already, and also the actions for the inbox will by default allow you to edit things and also add, but we can't add anything to our inbox, so I get rid of that and get rid of this, and we can test it. So the all messages, I might want to test this, and it says, the recipient, like if I send Aaron Perry and I say, hey Alpha, and I can submit it. Well, that's very confusing and wrong. So the inbox is filtering out where the target ID is currently row ID. So that's an error, obviously. It shows up in the all messages, but we want to investigate when we can open this dialog box by clicking add, and we have the components for this. And so for here, so this is referencing, this is a choice component, which allows these little bubbles. We also have options for, you can do a drop down if you have a ton of them. It also allows you to search, so it's generally easier eventually, but it's going to write to the user's IDs, which is a structural question if we want to only send to a single user or multiple. I kind of like the multiple because that immediately opens it up to like a broadcast thing. And I enjoyed the conversation with Aaron last night regarding kind of an ad concept of advertisements, which are kind of merged with posts. You could say like this is a sponsored post, and therefore you pay a certain amount of points to push it to the top, or even more particularly, like we have 100 people, 30 of them are tagged that they like dancing. So I'm doing a dance event and I want to broadcast it to anyone, but I could also like pay a certain amount. Like if I'm not your friend, I guess, but I want to grab your attention, I should have to pay for that. And my thinking is you charge 2 cents. One gets saved to the Ecoscene bank account, and one goes to the user. So that's cool. It's like just a messaging platform where you actually get paid to like read messages. I mean, why the heck not? I would love to, if I'm going to be bothered by my inbox and notifications, I'd at least like to be like, oh, I made $1.20 today. So this is the user IDs in right too. So what we need to do is change. I like that with the multiple recipients. So we're going to change, instead of the target, not the target ID, but we'll go into the field for the document, the users IDs split. So IDs is going to be a string that is separating the IDs by the comma, but the value itself is going to be one giant string. We want to be able to identify each element in it and get rid of the commas. So there's a split data field. You can go into here and go up here and say search. I'm just going to type in users, and it pops up this users. And so this user IDs is just a text field, but the IDs split is going to be a split text type. We're going to reference the users IDs, that column to the left of it, and we're going to split it by that. And then the references, you're going to find the IDs and actually reference the particular users with those. So it seems like a few different parts just to kind of reference lists, but there's a ton of combinations with what's possible with references. And so if we scroll down into some of these, here we have a list. This is an element, and that's referencing Aaron. So I could go back into here, and I could say, all right, the inbox is, and we can rename this, which just makes it easier. And say all messages. We'll say inbox. Not the target ID. We're going to change the filter, and the users IDs split contains me, the user profile, and the row ID. So because there's no results, the whole component doesn't show. If I were to then say, hey me, and I'm going to send that to myself. I'm as anyone right now, so that's an issue, and it's not going to be saving the author ID. So naturally, we want to create a condition where if I'm not logged in, I can't send a message. So I click on the component, I go over to actions, and it says allow the users to add items. You could also say, you can change the label on the button to say, I don't know, message, or just compose or something. But we should add a condition where the user profile, just row ID, is not empty. Meaning, I can search through the messages and fine, so be it. For now, we'll just keep it public. But if I log in as rep dev, I can now compose something, and I can say, hey me, and I can send something to myself, and now something pops up as hey me. Simple enough, but so how would it work if, well, for one, I might want to add a component that says how many points I have. I'm going to track the points. So there's the component list. There's a lot of different pieces here. I might want to throw in a chat, because like the messages or the inbox could also just be like a giant chat box. I don't know. Or Kanban is, I like Kanban. We can quickly just jump into there where I get rid of here and I can go, well, the tasks should have a Kanban view. So right now we have a grid view and a list of the task completions. So what if I create a Kanban view and then I'll drop that into there, and then I go into the docs. I go, yep, we want to reference the docs, but again, we want to filter this where filtering the data where the model of the document. This is referencing, which I don't use right now. I'm not sure why, but string, and the string is specifically a task. Therefore, it's going to reference the same things up here, but we have a categorization here. Now, I probably want to create a status we're doing a project management app, so I can go back into the general tab for the kanban widget and the tags. That's interesting. Tags, the keywords array, ref name, ref count. So the ref's names are the actual listed tags that are documents, not just a word that's been extracted, but a reference to a document that is a tag. And I don't know what that did. Oh, so the items is you can filter it by the dance. Yeah. Okay. Sure. All of them. Sounds good. Pick up the trash. Yeah, sure. So the custom groups, the save order. Assign this to save the card order for all users. Group by. Well, we probably want a status. Company uses the column to save the order of cards within each column. Oh shit. That's probably what I could have used from the work instructions. I didn't know about that. Well, I'm not sure what that's about, so let's just play with it. So I'm going to get rid of this user filter back on the dock, and we have the title, we have the main. I'm going to create a new that single files first. This is pulling a first the files, so you can upload files, but let's create just a new and what I've learned is you overthink things real easily, so it's just better just to throw it out there and then iterate from there. It's a very zen practice. So the main, I'm going to create a new, just called rank, for what it's worth. And it's going to be a number, so it's in the basic section, and the number. The precision is just going to be a rank, so we can keep that simple, and then units. No units. There is something I believe called an ordinal. Ordinal, which is kind of cool. Convert integers to the 22nd. That's interesting. So the number should be, and I can search for it. I can just want to type in rank, click on that, and say save. I also don't think I have a status, which would be generally, I do. Here we go. So let's go back into here, and we're going to reference save order. I'm going to type in rank to there, which that kind of changes the game for. I'm going to group by not the title, the status. And I don't even remember where status was. Oh, right there, status string. Uncategorized. So if I move this. So the item's data is going to be how it's displayed. And because I'm playing with it, I can just add rank to maybe the ordinal to the description, and that is doing nothing. Custom groups. Custom groups. Value uncategorized. Oh, cool. So uncategorized, and we might say pending. What the heck is this? Item, title, and value. Pending. This is cool. Done. Say done. I don't know. So do a dance. If I move this into pending, that's going to switch that data up, and I can quickly pull up the data, say do a dance, and I can track and click through and fold in all the different categories is somewhere in here. Loud talkers annoy me. I get annoyed at a lot of people. It's not healthy, but also don't be annoying. Anyway, so yeah, now doing a dance change the status depending, which is cool. I can scroll holding down shift into the done category. So there's a lot of ways to evolve this as far as if this was designed. It's pretty wild how I'm like obsessed with building like a community platform, and I'm pretty misanthropic. Alright, so that was a diversion from tasks, but that's the beginning. You can just play with the widgets. You can kind of go from there. Actions you can enable, so there's add, edit, and if I click it, yeah, you go into it, which is cool. And actions, if I can change the advanced actions, allow inline adding, right, if I can just drop that down, that's cool. Sure, allow inline editing, and that allows me to just type that in if I want to click on the thing. And then title bar actions, item click, show the detail screen, custom action items. So we'll want it to evolve it. But also connecting with points. It's not just creating another task manager, but combining it in the ecosystem so that you have a more utility for actual currency, which just puts it leagues ahead of any other crypto.